Hello and welcome back to our second video on the channel. So last week we had match day 3 predictions. This week we've got match day 4 predictions. So last week we predicted the games, and for each correct result we get 1 point, and if we also get the correct scoreline we got 3 points. So the final scores from last week was David got an impressive 7 points.
Yeah.
And myself, I got a lackluster 2 points. So David's in the lead. We're going to do that every week and show you what total we're on. But at the moment, David's in the lead. Okay, let's crack right on with the fixtures for this week then. So kicking off with the early kickoff, we've got Southampton coming fresh off their victory away from home at Leicester versus the newfound Manchester United, who beat Liverpool on Monday night. So I'm going to go with here a Man United victory. I think they were impressive against Liverpool. They found their style, the little triangles that they were doing and the pressing they were doing. You could see that they were playing exactly how Erik ten Hag intended for them to play. And I expect them to pick a very similar team here. And I'm going to go with a 2-0 United victory.
Yeah, well, as I said, I did win the prediction scores last week, but it did come at a cost because I certainly got the Monday night result wrong, as some of you viewers let me know. But in this case, personally, I still think the Man United players are frauds, to be honest with you. You can't turn up against Brentford and be 4-0 down and then turn it on against Liverpool. You can't just do that if you're a top team. So I think they're not going to win here. It's going to be difficult for them. Southampton's a tough place to go. I don't think they'll lose, but I think it'll be a 1-1 draw because Southampton, their fans do enjoy when the big boys come over. So yeah, 1-1 draw, and don't believe all the United hype just yet, because I still think they're a work in progress.
Yeah, there you go. That's coming from someone that obviously doesn't like Man United. Here we go. Right, next one. We're actually going for Brentford. So it's actually Brentford versus Everton for the second game. So Everton, they're yet to win a game. They did pick up their last point, a point in their last game. Brentford coming off a 3-2 defeat at Fulham. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw here.
I think it'll be a Brentford win. I think they're going to win 2-1. They obviously they would have been hurting, I think, after a late defeat at Fulham in that West London derby.
100%.
Everton still finding their feet under Lampard this season. They both got good wins in the Cup in midweek. But yeah, I think it'll be tough again for Everton. Lost their 1-0 last season, and I think they're struggling to score in the Premier League. I think Brentford are going to win 1-0 again.
Thank you, David. Okay, so the next game we've got Brighton versus Leeds. These two teams making very impressive starts to the Premier League. Leeds coming off a 3-0 victory against Chelsea, and Brighton winning 2-0 away from home against West Ham. Okay, so I think this will be a very close match actually, and I'm actually going to go for a score draw. I'm going to go with Brighton 1, Leeds 1. That is my prediction for this game.
Yeah, I'll go one further than that. I think it'll be 2-2. They've had good starts to the seasons, nothing to lose. I think they should just keep doing what they are doing, and we should have a good game here. They've both probably surprised us with their start this season, so yeah, 2-2 for me.
Okay, boom, next game we've got Chelsea at Stamford Bridge facing off against Leicester City. Now, I don't know if you've heard, David, but Chelsea are looking to make a few more signings. I believe they have made a bid for the Leicester City player Fofana. I'm pretty sure they're making a bid for Anthony Gordon.
Yeah.
People are saying it's a bit of a crazy price tag. I believe it's about 60 million Everton are asking for. But he's a young English player. They're looking for some longevity. Is it worth it? I mean, he's been good for Everton, but he hasn't really got those stats, goals or assists. But he's got some shots on target. I did watch it on Sky Sport News. I was listening to a bit of the analysis. But 60 million, that is a bit steep. But that's what you got paid these days for these players if you want to take off the other club's hands. So Leicester versus Chelsea. Chelsea at home for this one. Even though Chelsea lost comprehensively last week, I'm going to go for a Chelsea victory here. Leicester have not been impressive in my opinion, and I don't see them winning here either. I'm going to go Chelsea 2, Leicester 0.
Yeah, just touching on Chelsea's very strange transfer policy. It's Anthony Gordon. He's a good player. He did well last season.
Yeah.
But if he's worth 60 million, then I'm worth at least 10 million. Let's say that.
I reckon I'm worth 12 then.
Yeah. He's a good player, but let's not overpay for these players now because it's getting ridiculous. But in terms of this game, I think it'll be a Chelsea win. They probably need a game just to settle down. There's a bit too much drama going on around there, and I think it'll be a 2-0 Leicester. Chelsea win. 2-0 Chelsea.
Okay, we've gone for the same prediction there. So whatever happens there, we're still going to get the same amount of points in the league table tally that we're doing. We'll have to set up some sort of forfeit maybe for the loser.
Yeah, absolutely.
After a few weeks, we can see who's in the head. Stuff like maybe even a football, something to do with a football. Could be a red arse challenge. Like the red arse.
I'm not a fan of that game, so I'll pass.
Oh, that'd be a funny one. Okay, so 5th game, we've got Liverpool versus Bournemouth. Obviously, Liverpool will be a bit disappointed about the recent result, and they'll be looking to bounce back here against Bournemouth. Bournemouth just coming off a defeat as well. And I expect Liverpool to win this one. They haven't really been able to score, as I mentioned last week in the episode, and their midfield isn't looking that strong, but I expect Fabinho to start here, to be honest, and I expect them to win this one, even though they haven't got Nunez either. I think Diaz and Salah and Firmino should be enough to get the victory here, so I'm going to go with a 2-1 Liverpool victory.
Yeah, obviously I got the last Liverpool prediction extremely wrong last week, but I don't think I was the only one, so I don't think I should get too hammered for that one. But in this case, I know I got it wrong last time, but I definitely will not get this wrong this time. It's going to be an easy Liverpool win. It's going to be about 3 or 4-0. I'm just going to say 3-0 just to be on the safe side. Bournemouth newly promoted. They've had a tough run of fixtures lately, and it's going to continue. So 3-0 to Liverpool, and if I get this result wrong, either a draw or a Bournemouth win, I'll happily do a forfeit. You guys can choose what I do, but it's not going to happen.
Alright, you start now.
Okay, so I'll introduce the next few. So the next game is what does it say there?
Manchester City.
Manchester City against Crystal Palace. Now, actually, Crystal Palace won there last season 2-0 in October 2021. So Patrick Vieira, I think he's done well in the big games, or at least against the big six. Got a draw at Liverpool, beat Arsenal last season. So they've done well in the games against the big six. He'll have to come up with a plan this week because City got a draw at Newcastle last week, not the result they wanted. But I think it'll be tough for City, but they'll come out on top, 2-1 to City.
Thank you for those little stats there, David. Yeah, I'm going to echo what you're saying a little bit. I'll back Man City here, although you said, Crystal Palace do seem to turn up against the big teams, as we've seen this season as well, against Liverpool getting a draw. I still fancy City here. Even though they got a draw last week, they were really good, and they could have even maybe scored more. Newcastle could have scored more even. But yeah, I fancy City here. I'm going to go with 2-0 City.
Yeah. Cheers for that. And the next game is the Saturday night game. Arsenal against Fulham. Arsenal are the only team with a 100% record this season, and Fulham, who've started the Premier League season off well. However, they did get a pretty poor result in the Carabao Cup in midweek, losing 2-0 to Crawley. So we obviously know where their priorities lie, and that's completely fine. They need to stay in the league, but in this occasion, I think they'll find it tough. But I think Arsenal come out on top 2-1.
Thank you. Okay, so the next one we've got is Aston Villa versus West Ham. We've got the battle of the claret and blue teams here. On the other hand, Villa actually did win in the Carabao Cup 4-1 against Bolton. Douglas Luiz scoring directly from a corner, and he was actually practicing in training. Villa put it on their Instagram. So maybe a Douglas Luiz masterclass from corners again here. So, here we go. So, both teams have not looked all comprehensive. So it's going to be a bit of a tight one. But Villa are at home here. So I'm going to back the home team. And I'm going to say it's going to be Aston Villa 2, West Ham United now.
Very bold prediction indeed. So the next one we have...
Have you made your prediction?
For which?
Aston Villa.
No, I haven't. Sorry about that. So Aston Villa against West Ham. Well, yeah, I think it was a big win for Villa in the cup, because I know Stevie G is really not prioritising the cups, but he wants to have a good run in those. So I thought it was a big win for Villa. And West Ham, not a great start to the season. 3 losses out of 3. However, they did get through in the Conference League, for whatever that's worth. And I think West Ham, this is the game they'll turn up. I think it'll be a 1-1 to draw.
Okay, alright, I'll run you through the next fixtures then. So we've got Wolves versus Newcastle. Okay. So you know what, I've been really, really impressed with Newcastle last week and in the season so far. They're doing really well. You know, they've got the oil money in and they're spending it in the right places. Wolves are at home in this one, but I'm still going to back Newcastle here, and I'm going to go with a 1-0 Newcastle win.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you there. I think Newcastle, they know exactly what they're doing. I think it's great when the player knows exactly what they're doing. Even the players that come off the bench, they know exactly what they need to do, the job for the team, and there's no individuals there, and they're really playing for the badge. So I'd say it's going to be a 2-1 Newcastle win away from home. And I'll introduce the last one, which is Nottingham Forest against Tottenham from the City Ground. You'll be working at the around the ground. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so they've got a big screen at a local pub, and it gets very busy on match days. So I'm going there, working there behind the bar, pulling a few pints for the locals.
Absolutely, but he might be pulling a few pints, but will
Forest be pulling the 3 points through?
Will Forest be pulling the 3 points? Well, I wouldn't bet against it, but I think it'll be tough. Spurs, I think under Conte, they're no longer a soft touch, I think. And I think they'll come to the City Ground and pull off a 3-2 win.
That would be a very exciting game if we got that on our hands. I'm actually going to go for a draw here. I think Forest at home, they need to try and make that place a bit of a fortress. You know, it's quite close on the pitch and it's quite loud when it gets going. So I'm going to back a draw here. So I'm going to say Forest 1, Spurs 1. And that does complete the fixtures for week 4. There's also a match day midweek next week, so we'll get a video up for you then. And we're also hoping to do some football challenge videos and maybe even a Champions League reaction video as well. So stay tuned for some more. Any words for you, David?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a new TikTok account. Tell us how they can access that.
Yeah, so I'll put the link in the description. I'll throw it up on the screen. Hopefully we'll have some content in there by the time you're viewing this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And just after we've recorded this, the UEFA Champions League draw came out earlier on. So we'll do a video on one of the socials on that. and get some more content out there. So yeah, check us out, like and subscribe, and we'll see you very soon for the midweek games.
Smell you later.